Gavin, you mentioned the Game Awards. Let's actually go into some of the nominees. We didn't cover this last week when they announced it. So these are the Game Award nominees, and this is actually coming up December 12th, I want to say, for the Game Awards.
Oh, so close. I've said this to Fonzie in private, but I actively wish there were way more candidates per category. It was like 6, and there were so many games that came out this year. There was very little indie representation in this. Like, it wasn't. Yeah, it was pretty bare bones.
Gotcha. We have Game of the Year. We'll start with the big Mamma
Start
Jamma.
with it.
We have Game of the Year. So the nominees are Control from Remedy. We have Death Stranding from Kojima Productions. We have Resident Evil 2 Remake from Capcom. We have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice from Software. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and The Outer World from Obsidian. Let's
have you go first. Who'd you pick?
So some of these I haven't played. So Sekiro, I can tell it's not my cup of tea just because it's also that Dark Souls style of really fucking hard games. But I played Outer Worlds. I'm not a big Smash Bros. Fan, although I did buy it. I really dug Resident Evil 2. Man, that one really fucking clicked with me. But Control, I got to give it to Control. Something about the level design, the way your character is progressing in that like Metroid style, like building on your arsenal and just kind of improving. The art style, the music, everything about it was really just clicked with me. Some of the gameplay mechanics are like the fumbling of like the physics and stuff when you're platforming was a bit frustrating, but everything else was just it hit for me for sure. What are you thinking for Game of the Year?
You know, honestly, I didn't feel like Game of the Year for any of these.
Interesting.
And so I just picked Smash Bros. Because I played it. Like, I played Outer Wilds, and like having finished it, I'm like, that wasn't Game of the Year.
Gotcha.
That was a game that was good.
Did you not try the Resident Evil 2 remake?
I played it at your house.
Well, you played the beginning part. You had no interest in continuing. Like,
I liked it. I can do so much spooky. There's only so much spook I can do.
I hear you on this, but it gets less spooky because you build more confidence playing the game later.
But then
on.
Hatman comes out.
Yeah, no, never mind. It
stays Inspector
spooky.
Gadget.
It stays spooky for sure, but and I hate spooky games.
Right.
I feel you 100%. But for some reason, the gameplay loop on this was so strong, I wasn't as like scared.
Right.
Or they hit this really good balance. Right. But so that was probably my runner-up would be Resident Evil 2, that remake. Sure. Which makes me way more excited for Resident Evil 3 when they eventually get there. Death Stranding, I haven't played it yet. That's one thing I wish I could play to just have an idea on what the hubbub is about, but I haven't played it. So.
And I bet Control wins it.
You think?
You want to make sure to vote on it before you go to next category? There you go.
Vote twice on this. There we go.
Yep, there you go.
So next category, we got Best Action Game. Yeah, for the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat, we have Apex Legends from Respawn, Astral Chain from Platinum Games, Call of Duty Modern Warfare from Infinity Ward. Mm-hmm. We have Devil May Cry 5 from Capcom, Gears 5 from the Coalition, and Metro Exodus from 4A Games. What are you thinking on this, Gavin?
I did Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
I hear it's great. I hear it's a really good. No, I don't. I can't play those games. They're too fucking hard.
Gotcha. Too spooky, too hard. You just need your roguelike, lane.
Like I said, I didn't like these. I didn't like most of these categories, but I respect it. And like, as far as all these games that came out this year, that was one of the ones where the reviews were just positive. This is a damn good Devil May Cry game.
Gotcha.
So
I remember hearing that same stuff. Yeah, it was a solid, return to what that franchise, what people in that franchise wanted.
Yeah. I think the only thing I played here was Astral Chain, and I guess I played Apex Legends.
Astral Chain is the team or the game from the team who does the Bayonetta, right, with the hair?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Which you're a fan of the Bayonetta games? Somewhat.
I've never played them.
Okay, gotcha.
I might like them. They're definitely like Devil May Cry territory. They're hard, but Astral Chain wasn't too hard. It was just fun, chaotic. It was good.
Now, I guess I don't know if there is
Apex Legends really come out this year. It may have.
It did, or it came out holiday season last year.
Fuck.
Interesting. I think it's relatively new, but I feel like it was late last year.
There are some games in here that definitely didn't come out this year, and
so that was part of the drama with Jedi being not in the running this year was because the way they ended the voting pool was it limited some of those games that were like end of November, and I wonder if Apex was end of November last year.
Maybe.
They kept supporting it and doing other stuff, but that's where I get confused. So they have some games that are like more of the FPS genre, but I'm assuming they don't have their own FPS genre.
Yeah.
As far as an award go, it's just action game in general. I've really, out of this pool, I've only played Gears 5 and Metro Exodus. I didn't care for the story in Metro Exodus or the tone, the way you proceed. It was way too realistic and just kind of boring for me, but it was also beautiful.
Yeah.
Gears 5 was fun, but I kind of dropped off with that one too. I did play the beta for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but I mean, I would say, yeah, I would almost not vote or say... Yeah, I would just not vote because I have no opinion either way. Yeah, Action Adventure had Borderlands 3, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and Sekiro.
I did Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3.
It's great.
That makes sense. I feel like it's a solid one. I would go Control again.
Sure.
But
I think Control is going to take a lot of this.
I hope so because they didn't sell very well at all. So I'm hoping they at least get critical acclaim because, man, I want to see them fucking do something else with Control. Like, I was just so on board with them creating such a weird game, and I don't want them to be punished for doing that. I'm going to go back here in the view category section. Art direction, I'm interested to see what they voted for. So we have Death Stranding, Control, which for me, Control would be another one on there. Gris, this was a game that was out.
Super pretty.
It was super pretty. It was almost like, I remember a month ago talking about this. I played the demo or like I just downloaded and played the first part, but it's like someone's deviant art profile like come to life. Like but it's beautiful. And I just don't know if the game mechanics were there, but it was a beautiful game. Sayonara Wild Hearts. I don't know much about that. I think that's on the Apple Store, right? It's like that exclusive.
It's on everything, I believe.
Oh, gotcha. See, I would say the Legend of Zelda art direction stands out to me a lot with how cute and weird it is, like isometric almost, like the tilt shift they have on it. That would be my art direction.
I either did that or this, what is it called? Sayonara Wild Hearts or whatever.
Gotcha.
Maybe I did that for audio design because that was up next.
So audio design, I mean, maybe Resident Evil 2.
I hear Control had fantastic audio design.
It did, but I liked the score, like the music mostly, but Death Stranding.
Gears 5 though, it's weird to have that in there because I feel like you could be recycling sound effects from like the last 4 games and no one would fucking notice.
Yeah. Right. I've heard Death Stranding. The music in that is really, really awesome as well. Now, some of these
1,000 esport categories in here.
Yeah, esports coach. That one is a bit. I just don't know much about this world in general. But
Fabian Grabs Lomenheim or whatever it is, just purely based on, I don't know. I think he looks the coolest out of this whole crowd. This is a whole bunch of dorks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This
and
is
that
the Dork
guy
Awards for sure.
Yeah, I had no dog in
this.
Was it
last year they had, at least the televised ones had Ninja winning something? Was it esports player? Okay, yeah.
So it could have been. And I think that was the year before because I think last year.
It was the other dude, Fox, something Fox.
Sonic Fox. Thank you. I don't know. I picked Faker just because Faker is the fucking.
We got Sinatra, Simple,
destroys
Perks,
people.
Faker. I recognize the Booga Giersdorf guy. He won that Fortnite championship or tournament. So I would say him, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
What do you think about fighting game?
I picked. I don't know who I picked. I think I did Mortal Kombat 11.
Gotcha. Yeah, that one I own, but this year I realized, I don't like fighting games. I need to stop buying them.
Right, and I don't like Dead or Alive 6. I didn't even know Jump Force came out. Really? I really hate watching Samurai Showdown. I think it is very just boring to watch. And Smash Bros, it's like, is it a fighting game? I don't know. To me, it is. But I recognize that you could easily argue it's not. I'm not going to put a dog in that fight. I don't give a shit enough.
Would it be more action?
I don't know what you call it. I really don't. Because
I'd say fighting game.
You could argue it's a fighting game, but it doesn't look like any other fighting game out there, and it doesn't play like any other fighting game out there. So fresh indie game. Got to go with.
Let's check that out. So
got to go with Outer Wilds.
No, you said fresh indie games presented by Subway. Why the? I mean, they gotta get paid. They gotta make some money here. But like I guess the fresh becomes a part of that. Yeah. Okay.
I really wish Outer Wilds could have been in Game of the Year for me.
So now some of the nominees. So what's ZA? Are you familiar with ZA? Oh no, Disco Elysium.
Yeah, Disco Elysium.
It's going with the developer first, right? So
apparently,
Nomada Studio for Gris. We have Dead Toast Entertainment for My Friend Pedro. I never finished My Friend Pedro. I need to go back and finish it. I forgot about that. Outer Wilds for Mobius Digital. Mega Crit, who do Slay the Spire.
I don't agree with that. Like, Slay the Spire, hasn't that been out for, like, I feel like it exited alpha a long time ago, I thought.
Okay.
I've been playing it for...
more than a year.
Yeah, I feel like people have been playing it for 3 years now. So maybe that's just an issue with, early access, where it's just been in early access this time, and then all of a sudden, it's out.
Right. We also have Untitled Goose Game from House.
That's going to win. Like,
I
love me some Outer Wilds. I love a lot of these games. It's going to win. It's the meme.
I wonder if Outer Wilds should win because they have the biggest parade behind them as far as like these indie devs this year.
Sure.
They're like maybe at the top as far as like critical acclaim, but also with Untitled Goose Game that just took the internet by storm.
Right.
It's such a cool, wacky idea, and it was cute and fun. So I think it would be between them two for sure. I don't know. I'm not mad either way, either direction you would give it to those two.
And the thing with Untitled Goose Games though is like not only have the memes made it to people that don't play games, the game has made it to people that don't play games. You have non-gamers playing Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, and that's gotta be pretty strong when you're able to do that and cross over and do that kind of thing.
It's the new Madden or the new Halo or the new Call of Duty.
The fresh indie game presented by Subway. There's also independent game.
Right, which I thought was confusing.
Interesting. Also, they can have two different opportunities to like pay homage to Outer Wilds and Goose Game or something like that.
I felt kind of sad. There was one game I really wanted that I totally thought was this year. I was what's it called? Song
of the Deep or
no, it's about like this bard who saves the world, and he's on this quest to save the world. Wonder Song. And I could swear that came out this year. That would be my indie game of the year easily.
Looks like September 27, 2018.
Right. I could swear it came out this year.
Gotcha. I feel like you described this game to me, yeah.
It's so good. It's like Paper Mario, but without the RPG battle, so just more silly stories, and it's
more up my alley, yeah.
Fucking adorable.
So we have Goose Game again, Outer Wilds, Katana Zero, which I downloaded and need to get back into again, or as well, because it was really cool. The mechanics were really cool.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium I didn't play, and then Baba's You. Baba's You is frustratingly fucking hard, but I wish I wasn't so dumb because I want to play that game. Like, I want to understand more about it.
So brutal.
Yes, but
I'm not even mad about the fact that I'm too dumb to play it.
That's
at
true.
This point, I'm mad at the game for not dumbing it down enough for me.
Yeah, you know what? I understand that. Yeah. Now, what about performance? We have some actual actor performances. So we have Ashley Birch for Pavardi of Outer Worlds, Courtney Hope for Jesse Faden of Control, Laura Bailey for Kate Diaz on Gears 5, Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff from Death Stranding, Matthew Peretta from Control as Dr. Casper Darling, and then Norman Reedus as Sam Porter for Death Stranding. I do some of these games I haven't played, so I know I do remember with Control. This character did stand out a lot for me. So the Matthew Peretta, he played Dr. Casper. He's just very cool. Just like it's a lot. It's almost like with the remember the Lost, the show Lost, when they would kind of peek into that whole Dharma initiative and the weird like scientific stuff that was going on behind the scenes. Sure. It's like that if they made it funny. So anytime you deal with him in the game, it's like that. So I really dug his performance. What do you think as far as like who might take this?
I really only played Outer Wilds, and I love Ashley Birch, so I had to go with her. I almost went out of Laura Bailey just because, like not even for her game, but because I watch this show she's on called Critical Role, and she plays Dungeons and Dragons, and her character is fantastic, and she's super funny.
Yeah.
But that being said, with Outer Wilds and Ashley Birch. I've heard an argument, and I think it's 2,000% true. The plot of the Outer Wilds shouldn't even be about the plot. It should be about her and her, like your story of trying to make her date go perfect, because that was like the best plot line of the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
So
I need to go back and actually play that.
You should at least finish her storyline, and then that's where the game ends.
I think I started that point where she describes that to you as an optional like quest, but I never took that quest. But yeah.
It's super cute.
That's awesome.
So I went with her.
I feel like she will take it. Just I think like she has more notoriety with what's going on right now. But and with Outer Worlds being a just a huge game. But you had stuff like Mads Mikkelsen, Norman Reedus. They're huge actors. I don't know if their performance.
It's pronounced Mikkelsen.
Is it? What did I say, Mikkelsen?
Yeah.
It sounds cool to me. Also, your name's fucking Mad, so you can do whatever you want. That's a pretty awesome name. But yeah, I feel like them.
Did I tell you about the time I saw him?
Where?
I was in Denmark. It was my first day.
So in Denmark?
I was on a vacation.
Okay.
So I went to Denmark. Was this my first day there?
Yeah.
I think this was my first day there. I was in Copenhagen, which is Danish as fuck. And then I went to this fancy restaurant, and across the street, he was filming a Carlsberg commercial, which is a Danish beer.
Oh, that was like
which he did like 1,000 takes. I swear to God.
What do you have to do in the scene?
He had to ride his bike down the sidewalk.
Okay.
Get on a boat with some swarthy-looking gentlemen.
Gotcha.
That's probably the wrong word for it. Some sailory-looking sailors.
Sure, yeah.
Hop on, tell a joke, and go into like his room in the boat.
Gotcha.
And he did this like 1,000 times. And the thing that stressed me out is I had no idea that the extras. So he's on a bike. The extras just walking along the street.
Oh.
Like they have to keep resetting. Like these guys
so they're jogging along with them, kind of thing.
Well, they're not jogging. They're just walking.
Okay.
But they have to keep resetting. So these guys probably walked like 5 miles on one block.
Yeah.
Over the course of like an afternoon.
Dang, okay.
But that was a tremendously Danish experience in Copenhagen, watching Mads Mikkelsen film a Carlsberg commercial. Like, this is fucking Danish as shit.
Nice. Could you tell that's who it was right off the bat?
You can see that guy's cheekbones from 2 miles away.
Gotcha.
Like there was no is that him? That was like that's
the
him.
light catches in just like a prism.
Right.
I feel like if I would have seen him like leak some blood out of his eye, cry blood, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that's
is that something he does in the game?
Yeah, he's in the first James Bond reboot with Daniel Craig. He's the villain, the chief or whatever. Me and Meg were just talking about that. Yeah, he cries blood. That's his whole thing. He's a great villain. He's always like he's kind of
fantastic.
a professional villain character.
He makes a great villain.
Oh yeah. Nice. So we'll see how all this unfolds. This is coming up soon.
Most of that I didn't care. What was narrative in there?
Interesting. Let's pull that up. Narrative has
was Outer Wilds in there because it should be.
We have Outer Worlds, Disco Elysium, Death Stranding, Control, and A Plague Tale: Innocence. I've heard that one's really.
It's not gonna win shit.
No, I feel like that should have been shoved into one of the indie categories because it could have done well there. But
I give it to I'd love for Disco Elysium to win. But I don't know if it's gonna have it.
Yeah, that was narrative, right?
Strategy game, score, music, role playing game. See, go to role playing game. I was so not happy with this category. This was Western RPGs, like Disco Elysium. Like I think I voted for that one because that's you're very much role playing.
Gotcha.
Maybe I voted for Final Fantasy, whatever.
What is that? Final Fantasy 13?
It's an MMO, I think.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts 3 that came out this year.
Yeah.
Interesting. I feel like there's a lot of lead up to that, or like it was a lot of hype, and then it kind of came and went. But that was
people weren't happy with it.
Interesting.
Like, because it just Kingdom Hearts like all over the place, and that's not a great thing.
Gotcha. Now what's also in there is Monster Hunter World Iceborne. I think that was like the DLC expansion, maybe standalone DLC.
Oh, they're counting an expansion. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
And that didn't even come out that long ago. So how are you gonna count that, but a lot of not counting a lot of other games?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. I do for across the board, whatever Control's in, I vote for that because I had a lot of fun playing Control this year.
I think your Control was my Outer Wilds.
Gotcha. Yep. That's Outer Worlds or Wilds because you got to get that.
Wilds.
Okay. Now this is Games for Impact. This is an interesting category. So
I don't know enough of these.
Sea of Solitude, which I haven't played, but that's more of a strong narrative thing. Life is Strange 2, which I know is always critically acclaimed. Kind Words. That was one where you're like, so it's literally you're writing positive comments or notes for people. Oh. Have you heard about this game?
No, that sounds cute.
That's all I've heard about. Yeah, and apparently people really dig it. Gris or Gree from Nomada Studio. Then Concrete Genie. That one I had no faith in that, but actually people really dug it. So that was a
Was it supposed to be good?
Yeah, it was actually got really good reviews. It's a PlayStation exclusive, but yeah, you can use the wands to do stuff in the game, the VR wand things. But yeah, that kind of rounds it out for the different categories.
There we go.
I wonder what announcements we'll see, you know, because this is really where Geoff Keighley, you know, pulls stuff out of nowhere. And
we can't even wonder at this point. Like, there's going to be some batshit, like, crazy, not going to see it coming stuff out there. Like, is there anything, like, do we see Halo? What do we see? I doubt it. But what are we going to see show up? Do we get something next gen? Do we get more Keanu?
That'd be dope if you get more Keanu. I think like you should be able to get some next gen at this point because we're at the end of this year. Next year is all next gen, but we might see those companies like Microsoft and Sony hold that for when they're going to announce it. So Halo seems a bit more far-fetched. At the same time, this Microsoft is way different. The arm of Microsoft dealing with Xbox is a lot of them are just kind of going for it and announcing stuff, and they don't have any rules anymore because they're trying to gain ground. So they might announce something cool here just to be like, hey, here you go.
I could see an expansion for Outer Wilds because when I beat it, I now maybe I just didn't beat it properly or didn't experience all the side quests because I did unfortunately piss off a whole city.
That's Worlds, right?
Yeah, Worlds. I glitched out and pissed off a whole city. But I didn't see all the planets. So is there an expansion? And some planets popped up as the adventure continued.
Maybe.
So I guess you could just expand it.
Now, part of their team is working on that one shrunk into life like multiplayer game. Do you remember we watched footage of that? That was announced.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that makes it harder for them to do DLC or they're big enough where they can just work on two different projects. But that'd be my only like hesitation with that.
Yeah, that's true.
There's rumors that we'll see the next project for the Saints Row, like the next game in that series. Ooh. There's rumors that trailer might drop, and there's another series that there's a rumor for too. I forget it, but
I feel like that'd be great. That'd be a great venue for them to announce it. I feel like we also get a chance of someone in that trailer saying "fuck the Oscars" to continue the tradition.
Yeah.
That's
we'll see. I mean,
that's entirely possible.
I wouldn't mind. So every year, my pipe dream is to see some kind of announcement on BioShock, a new reiteration of BioShock.
There's no way for that to continue.
Well, I mean, yes, if it's you're following the actual story or whatever, but you could still do just something else in that world. I think there will be some kind of BioShock thing. I don't know what that will be. There was rumors years ago about 2K having another team working on some kind of game in the BioShock universe. Right. I don't know what that will be, but I'd like to see that teased here or E3. Right. That's a pretty big game to get if you can get that.
Right.
You know what? They might show more of Alex because it wasn't premiered at the Game Awards, but he has such a strong connection with them. They might let him see some gameplay or let somebody playing on site or on actually right there on the stage. So maybe that could happen, but who knows? I mean, he's a slippery guy. He could, he apparently will hold on to secrets like Half-Life Alex for years. So who knows what the fuck he knows? It might be having up his sleeve.
We could see whatever they're finally doing with the Kerbal Space Program people.
Oh, right, because they bought them, right?
Yeah. Just hired all of them.
They're just exclusively doing physics for Alex is what
they could be. Like, I don't know. Like, they have that physics system for that game so well optimized that they could actually, like you have actual NASA scientists learning shit from that game.
Yeah, that's nuts. You definitely want them under your belt or working with you. Gavin, that's all I have for you this week.
That's pretty light week.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on. But I also we're kind of released. We're past all the window of these big titles releasing for holiday season. So it's kind of the next big thing is the Game Awards, and then we'll have more info, news to talk about when they announce that or the trailers that come out with that.
And that's on, you said the 12th?
The 12th. Yeah, that's coming up.
Thursday.
Do you want to come over and watch it?
Yes.
Nice. That's next Thursday.
Man. See, it sucks that it's a Thursday because we can't do like the Game Awards drinking game.
Why not?
Because I'm gonna have to get home at some point and not be hungover the next day.
You can sleep here, Gavin. We can fall asleep in each other's arms and watch the Game Awards, as Geoff Keighley intended.
We'll
figure it out, Gavin.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.